Welcome to Gardening 101. My name is Hillary and I am going to be your teacher. Today we are learning how to plant a flower in a pot. Planting a flower isn't always as easy as it sounds. There are specific steps that must be taken to ensure success and growth of your new plant. Your 3 learning objectives today include 1. The successful preparation of your pot, 2. The successful removal of the flower from its plastic container, and 3. The neat and clean presentation of a potted plant. I've constructed an easy-to-follow algorithm that explains the primary steps needed to achieve your learning objectives. You will be able to utilize this algorithm as you plant your own flower later in the class. If you will direct your attention to the algorithm that's been printed out and placed in front of you, we'll get started. Step 1. You need to gather all the listed materials. This includes 1 small pot, 1 flower of your choice, potting soil, a gardening shovel, and a handful of small ceramic pieces. Gardening gloves are an optional material that can be used if you don't want your hands to get dirty from the potting soil. Once step 1 is completed, you will move to step 2, which is to place an appropriate amount of ceramic pieces at the bottom of the pot to cover the drain hole. The correct amount of ceramic pieces depends on the size of your pot. Big pots need more ceramic pieces and small pots need fewer. The purpose of this step is to ensure adequate draining of water from the plant so that it does not become supersaturated. I will be able to assist you in determining the correct amount to include in your pot if you are unsure. Step 3 is to fill the bottom of the pot with soil. A good rule of thumb is to fill the pot about 1/3 or 1/4 full of soil. You have to eyeball this. You want to make sure that the pot itself can still fit entirely, the flower itself, can still fit entirely in the pot. At this time, place the flower in the pot. Is the top of the flower container above the brim of the pot? If so, you have too much soil and you should consider taking some of it out. Will the flower sit high enough once you take it out of the container? If not, you may consider adding soil. Step 4 requires you to carefully and delicately remove the flower from its plastic container. You must be cautious when doing this because you could very easily damage the flower by incorrectly pulling it out of the container. The best practice is to turn the plant upside down, hold the stem of the plant gently in one hand, and repeatedly squeeze the plastic container with the other until the plant slides out. This technique takes time to master, so don't feel discouraged if you are unsuccessful at first. The plant should be placed in the center of the pot and the base of the stem should be level with the brim of the pot. Step 5 is to add the soil to the pot until you reach the brim. The top soil should be even and flat. If it is not, there is a problem and you may have used too much or too little soil. Lastly, step 6 asks you to move the newly planted flower to an environment that will allow the flower to bloom and grow successfully. Research should be conducted on the type of flower you choose, such as does it prefer sun or shade? Is it an indoor or outdoor plant? When followed, these 6 quick and simple steps will ensure that you are able to successfully prep your pot, remove your flower from its plastic container, and present a neat and clean potted plant. After this class, you will be able to construct your own personal Eden. All of your neighbors will have yard envy and will be asking you for advice.